And I remember one time where we had this huge fight and I was just so heartbroken. And I would go to God and be like, like, what's going on? I actually went to tell my dad that, Dad, I'm calling this wedding off, that this wedding...
You've never told me this.
Really? I went to tell I told my dad, I said, Dad, it's not going to happen. Like, it's not... Guess what he said to me? He just laughed. You're going to marry. What's for breakfast? Why do you always give me that look every time I ask for food?
That is not true. I don't give you a look.
Okay, so what's for breakfast?
Let's start with tea.
All right, let's do it.
Somehow, I can't lie.
I'm somehow.
Yeah, somehow, seriously.
Because I asked for breakfast.
No, because you're looking for my trouble. Early in the morning, we've said no traditional. We do traditional roles. What are we doing?
Yeah, we spoke about traditions and culture, right, in relationships.
Yes, I was saying we're keeping them outside at their third party.
Yeah, agreed.
But I love making you breakfast. I'm going to be very honest. I love making you breakfast.
Cap, Joy. You're capping.
I enjoy it. I put some, I enjoy it. But, okay. I mean, what do you think about last week's feedback?
It was great. I mean,
was it really great?
Yeah. For what it was worth. Yeah, but that was last week. This is here and now.
Yes.
And we are back together. And we are here to talk about...
How to know you are... Is that it? How to know you're ready?
How to know you're the one? How to know you're ready? How did you know you were ready? Okay, so the topic for today is how to know that you're ready for marriage.
How to know you're ready for marriage?
Yes.
How to know you're ready for marriage.
Or being ready for marriage.
Okay.
Being ready for marriage?
I mean, how to know you're ready for marriage is fine.
Okay.
I think it's interesting because I think some people never know.
By the way, you look amazing.
Oh, thank you.
You look gorgeous.
Thank you.
Yeah. Continue.
I'm actually curious to know what you think. Because you knew you were ready, right? You knew you were ready. You said you were ready. You were like, this is not a game for me when we met. It was like one of the first things you said to me after you had broken up with the young lady and we're having conversations. Yeah. Don't do this your head like this.
But I'm listening.
We've had this conversation, right? Yes, and then we started talking, all of that. And our chats initially were very interesting. Fun fact that I'm going to say on this platform. You told me about Nephilims when we first met. You were talking about Nephilims a lot.
I was obsessed with that study. At some
point,
were obsessed.
Studied Nephilims. And the children of fallen angels who had interacted with women and all of that. So you really made it a thing for me. So, I mean, when I saw people acting evil, I just thought that was a good tag for them. But yes, apart from talking about Nephilims...
Nephilims are like superheroes. They're like giants and like...
They are not on God's side. See, it's black or white. They are black. Are they black or white?
What do you mean black or white?
Are they on the good side or on the bad side?
If they're children of fallen angels, they're on the other side.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. So... Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No phones. Can we do no phones?
No, not
phones.
Today. Not
let's
today.
Let's do no phones.
There's something here.
No phones. Let's do no phones. Let's hide. Let's keep all the phones here.
If it's your own phone now,
we're doing Operation No Phones. Okay.
Yes, but one of the first things you had said to me really was that you were ready to settle. And I thought it was interesting, right? And I didn't fall in love with you because you said you were ready to settle. It was other things. But it was interesting to me that you were ready, like you knew what you wanted. It was almost you telling me, listen, don't waste my time. If you are going to waste my time, I'm not going to be here. Let me know if you're going to waste my time or not, or let me know if you're serious about this. But for me, I don't know where my head was at. I'm going to be very honest. I liked you. I had dated other people. I had been heartbroken, and we were chatting. So we started off like just chatting and talking because we were in different places, different continents. And we started off talking, and I started to like you. I remember that. And that's when I asked you if you were seeing someone, or I asked you, what are we? I didn't really say what are we, which was
What are
interesting.
we? What are we? What are we? What
We are
are
nothing
we?
but pencil.
We are nothing but pencil.
So, yeah. But then when it became serious, right? Because you were unavailable when we met. But when we became serious, and then we now ended up in the same Lagos on the same project, and we were seeing each other every day for like 6 weeks, it was like, okay, this is somebody I can do life with. So I don't know if that's the same thing as I was ready to get married. You seemed like you were ready.
Did I make you ready?
Can somebody make somebody ready?
Absolutely. You meet someone and you're like,
this person can be a part of my life forever.
Let's get married. I didn't know I was ready, but meeting you just feels like that happens.
I've not given this thought.
It
I've not given this thought. I wish I had given it thought. In fact, I'm saying over these 7 years, I've not given it thought. Like, was I ready when I met you?
I don't think you were.
I don't think
because you were a baby girl.
You
were on the streets. You were on the streets.
What does on the streets mean?
It means you're not ready to settle. You were like still chopping life in Lagos.
I don't agree.
You didn't look like you were ready.
I don't agree. I know that I was having fun, and I still am having fun in marriage. Like, I was going out. I was was I partying? Not really. I was just spending money well.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Did you do sorting out before we got married?
I did sorting out the year we got married. Yeah, sorting out was 27.
I think it was sorting out. I think it was, and for those and for those who don't know, sorting out is
a faith-based program.
Faith-based,
you go there, they'll deliver you.
A faith-based conference. Is it conference?
3-day conference.
3-day conference that you go and go deep into like the Word of God and praying and everything.
Yeah.
And and I think that was for you. That was observing you. That was what sort of like just gave your life kind of a shift.
Turning point was transformational.
Yeah, and you just turned a new leaf. You turned from this party girl to like this girl who just had church people around her. All of this,
all my friends, all the people around me. Suddenly we're like church people.
Yes.
But then there's always shout out to my big sis. There's always a separation before an elevation, right?
Word.
I felt that. Separation before elevation. And so I got separated from just people who were not for my next level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's nothing that shifts you quicker, and we talk about this a lot, than your circle. If you want to be a rapper today, just go and hang with rappers. 6 months you are rapping. Depending on the kind of rapper you're hanging with. If you want to be
I've been hanging out with FI a lot. I don't think
that's one person. I'm saying circle. And leave FI. What did FI do to you? What did FI do to you?
Okay, go on.
Leave FI. And FI is an actor as well.
Shout out to my guy FI.
Shout out to FI. We love you. So I believe my circle had to change because I was hanging with a lot of interesting people before sorting out. And I had just moved back to Nigeria.
From New York,
2016. And so I think I was even still trying to find my like what circle do I not fit into, but what circle can I be a part of? Who are my people, right? And then sorting out came up. And went for that and just...
Who invited you for sorting out, or who told you about sorting out? Like, how did sorting out come into your radar?
Who told me about sorting out? Oh my goodness. Do you know, I can't remember, and this is bad because that was such a transformational period. Who told me about sorting out? Did I go Halima?
Was it
I think it was Halima.
How did you meet Halima?
Halima was QC.
So you had known Halima
I knew
from
Halima
QC.
from QC. Yes. I knew Halima from QC.
Did you do sorting out twice?
Oh God, I've done sorting out 10 times. Let's go. We kill all the demons. They want to rise up and go die. Sorry, yeah. But yeah, I've done sorting out quite a bit.
So you had done sorting out before you invited me for sorting out?
Oh, yes, now. Yes. Okay. I had done my sorting out, so like it was great.
And then when we were going to get married, you said, let's go for sorting out again.
Yes. Wow. But I had gone to Kaduna for 1 month, remember?
Before we did sorting out?
No.
After
it was after.
After we did sorting out. Then you now went to camp.
Yeah, I went to camp for 1 month. It was just life-changing. But I think all of that just positioned me and brought me into a space where I wasn't really thinking party anymore, hang out anymore, spending money at Oriental anymore. Do you remember my Oriental phase? Oriental did not pay me for this thing.
I didn't know you then.
You didn't know me?
No, I heard about it.
What do you hear about it?
I heard you were living in Oriental. You're a big... You're a Lagos big girl.
What a time. Yeah.
The time was hard.
A time was actually hard. A time was hard. But yeah, so I think that just put me... So when you started to talk about things, I think it resonated with something in me. And I kind of felt like, why not? So it wasn't a case of, I'm ready, I want to do this. It was a case of, okay, let's do this.
You just didn't have direction in your life, and you met someone who had a direction, and you're like, let me jump on this boat.
Let me see. I mean, I'm just thinking of the things you said. I don't know how we got together. It had to be God, Daniel. Because somebody will tell you that I don't have money, I don't have money. What I have is faith. And I just found that so attractive. And I think it was because of sorting out. I think it was because of the prayers and my mother's prayers as well. Remember what my mom did now?
Yeah.
Do you remember
Your mom took us to...
Before she took you, she took me.
To Dr. Lukoya. Oh, she took you first.
She took me first.
And said what?
She took me like maybe 2 weeks after I moved back. Or maybe just a short period. Yes.
And said
so what? First of all, I'm at MFM. We're in Yaba. We're there. They'll now look at the list.
God bless Mommy. May her soul rest in peace.
May rest. I'm sure she's still doing what she does best. Cloud of witnesses. So first of all, you're in this large auditorium. All sorts of people. Just all sorts of people. And you're there like, okay, you're now there praying that they will call your number.
Hey.
And in my head, there was nothing wrong.
With you?
With me. Like, why am I here? Because you see people who are ill, people who are going through things, and just people who are just like, they don't look happy.
Who had issues?
Who had issues?
That's like the pool of Bethsaida. Like so many people with different issues waiting to jump into the pool.
So we're there as well. And I'm just like, I'm honoring this woman. Also, I've always loved God. There's always been this God thing in me. And considering what we just learned about my history, my lineage, I mean, all the bishops and all the people that church history. And yeah, so we're there. And then everybody, when they open the door, everybody look up. Taiwo, Onipede.
Just in case there's a Taiwo Onipede listening, they're not making reference to you. That was a random name. Okay, well, go ahead.
The person will go through like maybe 9 names. All of them will carry themselves, go inside, they'll shut the door again. And then you're there like... And of course, when you're in a place like that, you have to be sober. You cannot be there watching movies. You have to be... So people are praying in the spirit. People are just doing all sorts. And anyway... Madam Tayo Phillips. She said, oh, let's go inside. Oh, my mom was dramatic. My mom was just...
So she took you into...
So we got there. We got into the room and Pastor Lukoya is there. Dr. Lukoya is there. Shout out to Dr. Lukoya, right? And this is where he throws me. This is what just threw me off. He's like, okay, mommy, that kind of welcome. Like, what is the problem? My mom did not skip a beat. She said, marriage. Honestly.
The mommy took you to Dr. Lukoya and said marriage.
She said marriage. I actually sort of flipped out in the office.
Took offense.
I was like, what do you mean marriage? Like, I didn't know, like, I don't know why I thought we were there, to be honest. But I was like, what do you mean marriage?
Of all the things to ask
Of all
for.
the things.
Like, you didn't even ask for like billions. You didn't ask for like,
my guy. She's like, marriage. Then I get angry and I'm like, what do you mean marriage? I don't understand. Like, is that really why we're here, all of that? So he now says, mommy, please excuse us. So she excuses us.
Really?
Yes. And so it's me and Dr. Olukoya. And he says, what is the problem? Is it that you don't want to get married? Maybe the man was trying to check. Are you like, yeah. It's like, is it that you don't want to get married? And I was like, no, I want to get married, but there are other things. Like, I want to run a business. I want to make money. I want to do well for myself. I just moved back. And this whole marriage thing, like, this is taking me by surprise. And he's like, okay. So it's not that you don't want to get married. No, before you pray for people, sometimes you have to know, do you want this thing? Or let me not waste my energy, right? And so he says, is it that you don't? So I tell him, like, I want to get married. I don't have a problem with getting married. Babe, the next thing that happened, he just said, okay. He just laid his hands on me, just spoke in tongues. It was like 2 seconds. This was not long ago. This thing was not long. I was on the floor. Slain in the Holy Ghost. I was right there on the floor, gone. Then he sent for my mom. My mom's on the floor. You could see joy. Okay, let me see. I imagine that because I didn't really see her, but I feel like she must have been excited. And then when I opened my eyes, my mother was on the floor next to me as well. Two of us were both on the floor. And when we both came around, we gathered ourselves.
And look at what the Lord delivered to you. Like, shout out Dr. Olukoya, man. You delivered. Check that out. No, but you know God did you well. You know. But cheers to that. Cheers to that. Let's just drink to that. Let's just drink to
everything I just said, that's what you could come up with. That's what you could say. Are you serious?
But check it out though. Add 1 and 2 together, babe.
What?
Like, you had to. Like, look at what the Lord brought your way.
I don't even know how to respond to you right now.
Can I say my own side of the story? Because this is definitely divine. Cause what?
And then after my mom carried both of us to Dr. Olukoya and he said, he prayed again. You two were God in the Holy. Don't act like you're cool. You fell on the floor, guy, with your jacket. You wanted to do as if you did not fall. You fell.
Are you making this up?
You did not fall.
No.
Did I fall?
You fell. But I did it. But there were revelations though. He said certain things to me. That I was just like, he said 2 things to me and I was just stunned. Anyways, let's dial back. So I don't know when this happened, this encounter with Dr. Olukoya happened, but I was on my own had you known me at this point?
Yes, now.
We had started talking at this point. Wow, interesting. Yeah. Okay, so we had started talking on Instagram and over WhatsApp and things, and then I just started to, even before we started talking or during that period, I just started to feel this unrest and this need to just settle. So to answer that question, how do you know when you're ready? I think you just know. You know, there's no hard and fast rule for it. Some people say you must get a job first and you must, have certain amounts in your account first and all those things are good, but they're not the crux of it.
It's a knowing.
It's a knowing. I think it's a knowing that just comes to you and you just well, I'm saying from experience, you just know that, you're ready for this next level, for this next move.
And I've heard someone say that as well.
And then you start to put things in order. To prepare, because without that knowing, maybe your life wasn't in order, maybe you're just in order and whatever. But with that knowing comes, okay, I need to start taking off excess load. I need to start preparing for this thing for this next level that I'm about to enter, because that was it for me. And I think that was even why I had told the lady that I was with before that, I'm ready to get married. She wasn't ready. I'm like, okay, good. Scratch. You're not ready, scratch. And that's what happens with other areas of your life. You check and you're like, oh, is this ready for the next level? Not ready? Scratch.
And that's why
is this going to the next level? Not ready? Scratch. You're going and you're building, you're pruning yourself.
Absolutely.
You're taking off excess load. And then you get to that point. Now, the next question is, how do you know the person. So now it's not, so now you're ready.
Yeah.
Right? You've identified that you're ready.
Yeah.
How do you know the person, the one to be with?
So for me, you were the only person I was talking to that time. I had been seeing, I didn't even know what we're doing, it was a situationship actually.
Oh, you were in a situation?
Yes, about 3 months.
Oh, you didn't tell us.
You know this.
That you were in a situationship before I came into the picture.
I said it before.
Carry on.
Yeah, so maybe like 3 months before we met on that set. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was seeing someone, we were in a situationship. And then we met, and you came like a bullet, like precision,
like a man on a mission.
Yes,
precision.
No, but you were very precise, is what I'm saying. You were precise, and it was refreshing. Like I didn't have to be the one asking, "What are we? What is this?" It was very clear. And what was also clear was almost like you saying, listen, if you're not ready, I'm dipping, like I'm out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it did, of course, like we've said, all the encounters before and everything before, it did a number on me. Like in my head, I'm thinking, okay, this can work. He's nice, he's chilled. He said he does not have money, but that he has faith. Thankfully, money is not a problem for me, to the glory of God. So, okay, okay. Let's see where this goes.
Oh, you thought money was not a problem to you?
Money was not a problem for me. Don't play.
You thought? Well, carry on.
Yeah. So for me, it's like, let's go. Let's go. Where is this going? Let's go. And then who introduced you first to family? You now took me to
Calabar.
No, even before Calabar.
To where?
To Uncle Tony's house.
Oh, to my brother's house.
Yes, okay. You took me there, and that's where I met your
sister.
That's
where I was living.
That's where you were living, but he was there.
Yeah, so I had just come
back from South Africa.
Yeah. And I was living in my brother's house. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. And that's where you met my sister as well.
Met your sister, met your brother, the older brother, oldest brother. And
but did you hear God?
No.
You didn't.
For you?
Do you think there's a need to hear God tell you this is the one to get married to? And is there such a concept as the one for anyone? Like, is there one woman for everyone?
That question is a question we probably would see. We can ask God when we see him face to face, or we can ask him here. That's fine.
I personally believe in predestination. So I believe that God predestines people, and I've always known that, or I've always known that concept, right? But I heard someone put it very interesting, that we are created in bunches. Yes, that we're created in, like, you know how a tree
like
has
a bunch of plantain.
Yes, so when you meet certain people,
I like plantain.
When you meet certain people that you're in the same bunch with, there's a knowing in your spirit. There's a vibration that you feel in your spirit, and then you go like this. Why am I so drawn to this person? Like when the person speaks, the way the person looks, the way the person laughs, like you pick up a frequency in the spirit, and you go, this is so interesting. Like, I don't know what it is, but there's something about this person.
Okay. So for people who do not, let's say for people who don't share a faith.
Yeah.
How does that work for them? They're still in knowing.
So it's not, for me, it's not a Christian thing. It's just a life thing, right? I believe that for those who don't believe in God, maybe, do you believe you were created? Do you believe, how did you come into being?
How did you get here?
Yeah, how did you get here? If to you it's energy, or it's,
Bang.
The Big Bang or something, there's something about people that you connect with.
Right.
There was something about you. Remember I used to say that there's just something, even when you get angry and you explode, or you just vent, there was something about you that just drew me to you. Do you understand? There was still that thing that I couldn't point.
Like he was still like, is this person?
Yes.
This is the person.
You know, and to be honest, I had prayed, I'd taken time to pray about you and all whatnot. And
is that when you chased me from?
I'd taken time to pray about you.
Is that time that's... Continue.
Are you trying to say something?
Continue.
Yeah, so I'd taken time to pray about you, and I didn't get any red flags or like, you know, warning signs. All I had was like this peace about you, you know. So even when we would fight and when we'd have all those issues, I'd just be like, you know, what's going on? Like, what's up with this girl that is just like giving me all these issues, but yet...
And then you were there trying to teach me by force. You will be my student in life. You will be my student. Oh yeah, this is how to carry the cup. Carry it like this. This is how to move the cup. Move it from here to here like this. The cup must dance so on the way that is going to this place. If it does not dance, you've done it wrong. Even through that.
Yeah, so even through that, I just felt, you know, like... And I remember one time where we had this huge fight and I was just so heartbroken. And I would go to God and be like, you know, like, what's going on? Like, what is going on? What is going on? There was one time I thought we weren't going to get married. I actually went to tell my dad that, Dad, I'm calling this wedding off. That this wedding...
You never told me this.
Really? I went to tell I told my dad, I said, Dad, it's not going to happen. Like, it's not... Guess what he said to me? He just laughed. You're going to marry.
I love Daddy. I love him.
You're going to marry. The marriage is going to happen.
Is that when you said you asked him about temperaments?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember. But I did tell him to call it off, that, you know, tell your people that this is just laugh.
Was this after the introduction?
I think so. I don't remember. I don't remember clearly if it was after, but I remember telling him that I'm done. It's not happening. All of that. My sister was losing her mind. My sister was like, "Hey, Daniel, just calm down. These things happen. It's normal." I said, "No, it's not happening." I told my dad that. She just laughed. She said, "It's going to happen. You're going to marry. Don't worry. You're going to marry her. It's okay." So so in spite of so that's what happens when you have a knowing. For those that God, you know, and it's important that, it's important that you understand, because life is so spiritual and there's a lot that goes on beyond the physical. I think it's important to ground your decisions in what's beyond the scene. Right. It's so important.
Right. Yes,
you know, for those who believe in God, if you don't believe in God, whatever your belief system is, that goes beyond the physical.
Absolutely. This is not all there is.
Ground your decisions there first before you take them out in the physical. Because when the chaos happens and the trouble happens and all of that, you need something to keep you. You need an anchor that will hold you down even in the storm. You need that anchor to keep you grounded in the storm.
Yeah. I mean, I'm quiet because there's some revelation there. I didn't know that you had gone to meet your dad to say that. I think that's really funny. But I remember my mom talking to you. Yeah. I remember my auntie. Who was it again?
Let's go back to money now. Let's go back to money. I remember you saying, I noticed you had said, I said I didn't have any money, but I have faith. And to you, like,
money is such a touchy topic for guys. Of everything I've said, as I said it like this.
No, I wanted us to talk about it. I want us to talk about it. Now, how important is, first of all, financing or finance, and then finance and emotional preparedness for marriage? How important is that?
I think money is important to settle. I think you need to be able to afford things. I think once the strain of money is gone from anybody's life, your quality of life increases. Your quality of life just increases. Like, you're not thinking, oh my God, I'm going from Lekki to Surulere. Should I use Uber? Should I enter bus? Should I share? Should I this? Should I that? Like, once just things, or you are traveling, or kids are going to school, and you're not thinking, should I pay school fees, or should I buy groceries. Like once it's reduced, especially for the basic needs. Do you understand? The basic needs of what? Food, clothing, shelter. Once you're able to just sort out those things and money is not an issue, you live a better life. Again, the quality of life is better. So I think it is important to have money before you get married. But I
What do you
also
mean
think
have money?
enough to sustain you
How
in that
much is
period.
enough?
It depends on your lifestyle. If you're partying every Friday and you want to keep partying every Friday after being married, can you afford it? When your wife gets pregnant, can you still, are you still able to afford your partying every Friday, or
It's
does your
important to
priority
have
change?
enough money to maintain
Your
yourself and your
lifestyle.
spouse and to maintain your
Well,
family
yes,
before you go
yes,
into
yes.
marriage.
And if it's a double income household, because I'm very aware that there are households that are not double income, the guy is pulling in all the money or the woman is pulling all the money, right? But if it's a double income household, you have those hard conversations. What is the rent cap? Okay, if we're buying a house, what's the cap? What cap are we putting on that? If we are, how many kids are we having? What kind of schools are our kids going to go to? What kind of extracurricular activities are our kids going to do? And then put numbers to them. Swimming lesson, 75,000 per lesson. Or how much is it? I don't know. Well, let's just say swimming lesson, I don't know. Let's say 75,000 per month, okay? We want them to do what? What else again? Music. So to learn the piano, this, to do this, to do that. They'll do taekwondo, they'll buy taekwondo uniform, they'll do ballet, buy ballet uniform, horse riding.
Warrior.
Yes, you must have all these in numbers. Okay, they're going to go to these kinds of schools within this range, this one to this one. And then you both look at it and say, are we pulling this in now? What do we need to pull this in the number of years that we believe we'll start having kids and all of that? What are we doing? So you have those numbers, and then it helps to see those numbers. It helps to know that I need X amount so that your mind can begin to attract X amount. But the challenge that people have had, even that we had initially, was I don't think we were number conscious. We weren't money conscious, we weren't number conscious. It was just, okay, we want to buy this, we buy this. We want to buy that, we buy that. We want to travel, we travel, all of that. There was no proper planning. So I'm really hoping, with this conversation now, people know that they have to plan. So to answer the question, money is important. You asked how much, I can't put a figure to it. It's the lifestyle. And there was a second question, money and what? You had
Emotional
preparedness. Emotional preparedness is very important. I think I even, know that people get into marriages with baggage and then they bleed on their partner, right? And the partner is like, what did I do? I didn't do anything to you. But they don't know that the person is traumatized from whatever it is. And so I'm big on therapy. I announce therapy. I propose therapy. I feel like if you're even born in Nigeria, first of all, you just need therapy. Someone to tell you, don't worry, it's not your fault. Because you'll be asking, what did I do? What did I do? Right? So there needs to be a lot of attention given to emotions before you get married. Just be sure that, listen, this baggage you are carrying, can we unload or offload together so that we can move forward and there's no weight on this marriage?
Yeah. Very good.
So, I apologize, but I feel like, let me rephrase, it's also important to know that marriage comes with blessings. Mm-hmm. There are people who have stayed unmarried because they don't have enough. What they term to be enough. And so they stay unmarried, not realizing that he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. See how your life has changed, Daniel.
What are you talking about?
See how far he has brought.
Okay, so jokes aside, I think.
Jokes not aside, obtains favor. And favor brings things into the tangible realm where you can touch and feel and see and interact with. And so for guys who are like, oh, I still need like 5 million. I still need like 1 billion because I want to sustain this lifestyle and I don't want my wife to fly economy or my wife has to fly this, fly that. Get into marriage. The God will invite God into your relationship and just experience favor. You will experience favor. So don't let money hinder you.
Having said that, marriages are expensive.
Marriages or
weddings.
Weddings.
And marriages are an expensive venture. There's a scripture that comes to my mind now that I'll paraphrase. It says, a man who needs to go to war
must first count the cost.
And count the cost. A man who needs to build
must first
sit down and count the cost.
So that when you start building, you'll not reach one way and say,
you'll be like,
you're stuck, I can't continue.
Hey,
uncompleted building.
Yeah. You don't want that. You don't want that. So I think it's important. And just speaking of from where you, from the things that you've talked about, to count the cost of your wedding and your marriage before going into it. It's part of preparing for marriage. So for finances, I don't think a man has to have X amount or has to have, I just think you need to prepare for it.
Yeah.
So decide on what kind of wedding you want to have, what kind of marriage you want to have, and plan for it.
The lifestyle
prepare
you want
for
to
it,
have.
count the cost for it, and be transparent about it. You tell the lady, look, I have dreams, because that's what I definitely said to you. I'm armed with.
I just thank God that it turned out well.
I'm armed with dreams. I'm armed with faith. You know, I might not have a lot of money to give to you right now to show you or to fund that lifestyle, that Lagos big girl lifestyle.
Can you stop
that
with the
you were
Lagos
living.
big girl?
But I did
and
have...
please, my Lagos big girl lifestyle was legitimate too, because it's beginning to sound that you know it was legitimate without going into details. But you know it was legitimate without going into details.
Can I talk about?
Can you? Is it yes? Is it yes?
That your Lagos lifestyle, your
Lagos big girl lifestyle was legit.
What's the meaning of that?
It was legitimate.
How do you mean?
You know what I mean. Please don't play. Okay, carry on, please, because you said it's Lagos big girl like 10 times.
Anyways, so I think it's so you might not have like physical cash.
Please, I'm not even listening.
But you have dreams, and you have a skill set that can be converted.
You have value.
Yes, you have value to offer. Thank you. You have value to offer. You have a skill set, talent, education that can be converted into money. And for those of you behind the camera listening to me who are not married, you can get married if you have something that can be converted to cash. Don't wait and say, hey,
until I have.
All you need is to decide. All you need is a will to decide that you want to get married, and then everything will start to work out for your good. But count the cost. Count the cost. Prepare.
But guess what you should also do? And then what? Sorry.
And then I was going to speak about the emotional parts of it.
Yeah, but guess what you should also do? Because that scripture is still staying on my mind now, that just he who finds a wife finds a good thing. It's actually incredible that the name of my company is That Good Media. You got a good package, oh. No, you were doing your own earlier.
You got a good package. Baby,
you got a good package. Who got the better package? Okay, relax first. He who finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. And so for me, I'm just here thinking, you have to lay a demand on that word as well.
Come on.
Like you said, I will obtain favor. If things are not looking favorable, you go into your prayer closet and you lay a demand on the word of God, because God cannot lie. So if you're not seeing it, it's you, it's not him. You lay a demand on that favor, because honestly, marriage it comes with its blessings. It comes with it first of all, it pleases God. It just pleases God when two leave their father, leave their mother, they cleave, they become one. It pleases him. It's almost like a replicate of on earth as it is in heaven, but let's not even go into that. And so you cannot be in something that pleases him, something that he preordained. You've said, I'm not going to live in sin. I'm not going to, what's it called now? Cohabit. I'm not going to cohabit. We're going to do this the right way, all of that. Once you do that, it's already a pleasing act to him. So lay a demand on all the blessings. The blessings are not just going to come to you like this in front of you and say, okay, Karen, no. It's like a field. There are jewels in the ground. You make a demand on that field. Oh yeah, produce. Do you understand? So again, it's just because I sense the fear of commitment because of this money thing. Enter and enjoy the blessings that are attached to the step that you have taken.
Yeah, and for me, an area that is even more significant than financial maturity or commitment is emotional commitment, emotional maturity, mental capacity.
Yeah.
You know, are you in your mind? Are you prepared for someone? Are you secure in yourself? Are you a whole person first before you bring in someone into your life? As a man, bringing someone into your life to be the person's husband, it's important that you fix yourself. If you're broken, try and get help, because marriage will not solve your brokenness. It will expose your brokenness.
Sorry.
So because you're broken,
wait. Please say it again.
Marriage will not solve your brokenness.
Thank you.
You know, you have issues with being alone. You have issues with sex. You think marriage will just fix your problem with having sex all the time or needing to have sex or porn. It won't solve it. It will expose it. It will even heighten it in some cases. You know, so try and fix and try and get ready. Try and build yourself emotionally. Try and build emotional capacity. If you need help, seek help before you bring someone's life into a mess. You know, but yeah, it's important to financially prepare. It's important to emotionally prepare. Be a whole person before you bond with someone else. Marriage is not about weddings. It's the start of it. And for those of you who are
make it a beautiful start.
And for those of you who are life students, yes, it's important how you start, but it's a marathon. You don't use up all your energy to start.
We're talking about marriage.
You pace yourself. You start with a pace that you can handle, because there's a final lap. And that final lap is how you end it. How you end it, that is most important. How you start it is good.
Yeah.
But what is even better is how you end it. And in that note,
babe. No, we're not doing that. I think marriage counseling needs to even be revisited, because there's a lot that people don't know. Like, and you know, they keep saying it, and I guess it is what it is. Like, it's the only school you get a certificate before you write the exam, right? You say, I do, they give you a certificate, okay, you're married. Then you start learning internally. I think more young people need to have, I don't know whose responsibility is it now to have the conversations, the learnings, because our marriage counseling was, do you remember what that guy said? That don't lose him, men are hard to find. I switched off. I actually just switched off in a counseling. Really, that's what you're going to say to both of us. Nothing to the guy, only me. I switched off. But we need like marriage counseling. We need young people to know, okay, this thing is, you're in it for the long haul. These things may happen, that may happen, and really in a teachable environment. And I think young people need to just submit themselves to the teachings of the older ones. That's what I think. Yeah. So you're right. We're agreeing. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Yeah. And then marriage counseling. Now we can end.
Okay, now on that note, we'd like to draw the curtains on this episode. We hope you enjoyed it. From T and myself, thank you for watching. Transparent with T and
all right, people, bye.